sa Balitang Express.
Narito ang mainit na kaganapan sa loob ng Senado. Senador Amy Marcos at Senador Drilon nagkasagutan. Panoorin ang buong detalye sa video ito.
Yes, are we approving? What exactly is the status of the call?
Mr. President, there will be a motion to adopt the measure, and our colleagues are free to stand to object, abstain, or to vote in favor, Mr. President. Thank you.
Yes, Mr. President, with all due respect to our Senate President earlier, even if it's a gross oversimplification, regardless of whether the suit will be for declaratory relief, for mandamus or certiorari, whatever format it takes, the title would appear to be Senate versus PRRD. Is that correct?
To respond, the Minority Leader, one of the
Yes.
others is recognized.
The title will be, it will not be against President. It will be against the Executive Secretary because there is a mandamus portion, which if the Supreme Court sustains the right of the Senate to concur, the Executive Secretary will be required to refer the termination to the Senate for concurrence. So it is not against the President.
Yes,
As I
we
responded.
understand that it would be the executive secretary as is habit, but being the alter ego of the president, it effectively also drags the president into the case.
Well, the President has to be impleaded as a formal party. We cannot implead any other person because it is the President who initiated the termination. And in all cases, as it presently stands, the President can terminate treaties without the concurrence of the Senate, as he has done in the Rome Statute, as he has done in the BFA.
But then again, Mr. President, we're not even there yet.
Yes.
We're still in the resolution of asking whether we should be asked to concur or not. Simply that, Mr. President.
Mr. President, this is my 21st year in this chamber. And it makes me so sad that even just on a simple resolution, which would authorize the body to bring a matter to the Supreme Court, we could not even get a unanimous vote. Mr. President, all that we are asking the Supreme Court is to define our constitutional boundaries. Nothing else, nothing more. We are not dictating on the Supreme Court. We are in fact asking the Supreme Court to rule on this issue. And for all you know, the Supreme Court may rule that the Senate's concurrence is not necessary. And that settles the issue. Or the Supreme Court may rule that the Senate's concurrence is necessary. Again, that settles the issue. That is why it saddens me, Mr. President, that we cannot even get a unanimous vote to go to the Supreme Court to ask that question. Thank you, Mr. President.
Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. With that, moving on to other matters. Agriculture na tayo, Mr. President.
Unless Senator Bato wants to be recognized, I see him raising his hand. Senator Bato?
Baka ready na po yung bamboo, ha? Pero i-recognize na natin si Senator Bato. Yes, sir.
Mr. President, I just would like to react on the manifestation of the minority leader that he is saddened dahil nga simple resolution cannot get a majority vote, unanimous vote. Pero kami naman, I just would like to react. Nagpapalabasan na tayo dito ng sama ng loob. Ako, magpapalabas rin ako ng sama ng loob. Na it also saddened on our part dahil we belong to the majority group but we cannot get the majority vote. We are the majority coalition here in the Senate but we cannot get the majority vote. We have the minority vote. So pasalamat dapat si minority leader because he belong to the majority but they got the majority vote. he is from the minority group, but he has the majority vote. So dapat nagpasalamat siya dyan. Pero anyway, nagpalabas siya ng sama ng loob, palabas na rin sana ako ng sama ng loob. Yun lang, Mr. President. Thank you.
Mr. President, I don't want to add fuel to the fire. Today has been an exciting and emotional day for many. But there are I've been in the Senate since the 14th Congress. I've been a congressman since 1998, Mr. President. There are certain bills, there are certain actions and issues that you tackle that sometimes needs a conscience vote. You want to be a statesman, you want to protect the institution. And particularly, I'm proud to be a senator. I was also proud to be a member of the House of Representatives. And there are issues that we need to protect this institution, to assert our right as a co-equal branch of government, and wherein we can stand up above the fray. Ika nga. This is what separates us from local politics. We are voted by 20 or so million Filipinos. So we'd like to be able to, and these are from both sides of the camp, whether they are opposition or administration, they vote for you. So this is an issue. This is one of them. When the Senate rejected the U.S. bases in, when was that? Year 2000? 1991. I was in college, that's right. In 1991, I remember clearly the 12 senators that voted not to renew the votes or the U.S. bases here. And as a UP student, I was very proud of that, and we were very proud that we asserted our power over our sovereignty. So these are times such as this that we want to also, as an institution, I saw them, inggit ako sa kanila. So when you enter the Senate, it's a altogether different story. I've been in the House. My priority were my constituents. When you go to the Senate, for me, Mr. President, your priority is the Republic and all those that had voted for you. I hope walang samaan ng loob pagkaganito kasi this is a conscience vote. Where party lines maybe will be different, let's say we discuss the budget. Obviously, the President is asking for the budget. We, as members of the Alliance, will support the President on this budget, 100%. When it comes to tax measures that the administration is asking, we have delivered on train. We are now discussing Sitira after this discussion so that we can support the President's agenda when it comes to revenue generation measures as well as tax measures and the budget. So, yun lang po. Sana wag po tayo magkasamaan ng loob kasi ito po ay para sa amin, ay para sa institusyon. Senator Lacson would like to be recognized, Mr. President.
Senator Lacson is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just would like to disabuse the mind of my former comrade in arms in the PNP. I voted not against the President. I voted for the institution where I belong, called the Senate of the Philippines. So that's also my explanation of vote, Mr. President.
I agree, Mr. President, with Senator Lacson. My vote here is not against the President, but just to protect our institution on future questions that may arise, on future administrations, Mr. President. All right, with that, we will take up now agriculture. Mr. President, we have, hindi po bamboo ito eh. Ito po ay organic. Agriculture, Mr. President. I move to resume consideration of Senate Bill number 1318 under Committee Report number 35, Mr. President. I so move. Ay, sino magtatanong?
Any objection? Hearing none. Motion is approved.
May I ask for 1 minute suspension, Mr. President?
Session suspended.
At siya ang aking balita. Maraming salamat sa iyong pagsubaybay. Kung ito ang Balitang Express.